Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the camp Facebook page live. I actually think I pushed it out on my other own personal sites to get some traction to bring everyone to understand and recognize the Coalition of Automotive Management Professionals we call CAMP. And we do these campsite think tanks about every 3 weeks. And my guest today is Cecil Bullard. Hey, Cecil, how you doing? Nice to see you.
Doing great. Good to be here.
I know it is. It's always the opposite would not be good. It would not be good. But hey, look, we're here with CAMP, a great organization, the Coalition of Automotive Management Professionals. As I said, is the first ever purchase group that got together for the good of the entire industry.
That's right.
And you were one of the founders, and you kindly invited me to hang out with you guys, and I am always learning from you guys, just like the rest of the industry is.
It's good to be here and be able to make an impact in the industry.
It sure is. Well, look at Cecil. I reached out to Cecil and I said, hey, what are we going to talk about today? It's your slot. And we hear this all the time, man, all the time. I'll wait to hire a coach. And that waiting game goes on sometimes for years to the detriment of the business.
I think that everybody in doing sales, people push salespeople away with different excuses, all different reasons why I can't do this right now, can't fix my car, can't hire a coach, can't buy a sofa, whatever it is. And even in life, when you're managing people, people act in a specific way, often to push you away so that they don't have to conform. So let's say in my shop, I want to have 100% productivity or more in my business, and I've got a guy that's 80%, and I go out to have a conversation with him about his productivity, and he gets angry right off the bat without any push from the manager, the owner, whoever it is.
That would be defensive,
yeah,
right?
Defensive, yeah. which I guess is a form of anger, but that's often used as a method to push the manager away, the owner away, or whoever I don't want to deal with right now. So let me get angry or defensive, and then you'll run off, and I won't have to deal with that. So, I think that when someone says to me, I want to hire a service advisor first, or, I got to hire that A tech first, or, what, let's wait until June because, I'm expecting some great change in my business. I think that's really just a message that just says, I don't really want to do this. Okay. Now, it's not always that way. Sometimes people say, wait till June, and June comes up and they send you a message, they call you up and they go, okay, I'm ready to go. But most of the time, it ends up being this very delayed process that almost never happens. And from my perspective, I've been doing this about 21 years now as a coach and a consultant in the industry. And, I work with about 100 clients a year. So, we're looking at 2,000 or so people. And the majority of those shops, not all of them, but let's say 93%, 94% have really taken huge steps in profit and in life. I now have time to live my life outside of my business. It doesn't take everything I have to run my business. And they add to, the coach, the training that they took, the smart group or the 20 group that they belong to, has helped them learn the things they need to change their lives. I also, and Carm, you can jump in here at any point.
My part of my role is to listen, to be absorbed, to be engaged, which I hope our audience is. I'm mesmerized by your words. I believe in your words. I know those words are genuine and they're real. And I've interviewed too many people that said too damn bad I waited so blanking long so that and I had a great interview this morning with young guys, Cecil, that know you, that are in your smart group. They've been in business 9 months.
Yeah.
And they said it was the greatest thing that ever possibly happened to them. What a start.
Yeah. It's amazing to me. I wish that when I was 25, somebody had said, wait a minute, you need to do this. I would be so much further along in my career. I want to go back to the earlier comment and just clarify. A coach, a smart group, a consultant, a training, it gives you knowledge and information. You still do the work. So I can't claim credit for the Osario brothers and their success and how excited they are with their business, because I didn't do the work. What I did was put them in amongst other great shop owners and guide them and help them get the information they need to be the most successful that they can be. And so I don't want to stand here and say, well, I saved this guy, or I did this, or I did that, because I'm the guide. I'm the guy that says, look, if you really want to know how to do this right, this is how I've done it and how other people have done it that have worked and worked well.
After interviewing them today, my big takeaway from them, and everyone will enjoy that episode on Remarkable Results Radio in the next maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but it was financial freedom, Cecil. There aren't a lot of shop owners that have stopped to realize that financial freedom is a big benefit of getting help. And they believe that they can do. They have this really outrageous can-do attitude after they attended their first smart group, and they were so highly motivated and connected at the tissue, and that's a part of the story that we'll talk about later. But so interesting about these young guys, and knowing that here I'm going to be on the show live with you, and here I'm watching this go on, and I'm thinking, why? I mean, the number of clients you have and all the coaches that are in the camp organization, if you add them all up, it's still a very small part of the industry, percent of the industry.
It's likely that 15% of the industry is taking classes regularly or training regularly. And if you talk to, I don't know, the most successful shop owners, the most successful business owners, they're going to tell you, I went to a class, I hired a coach, I joined a smart group. And this is where I learned the things that have made me most successful. And it is when you look at the Osario brothers, to watch them when they came on board, they were making nothing, and now their business is twice as big as it was, and they're starting to take income and see a real future. And for me, that's the giant reward. Let me make another comment here, because I think it has to be said before we're done. And I know we're not doing this, over a long period of time. It took you a long time to make a mess of your business, right? It's not like, I've been in business 20 years and I'm still working too hard and I'm still not making enough. It's not going to happen, in the next 2 months because you hired a service advisor. The habits that you've created, the things that you're doing, unless you change what you do, you don't change what you get. So it's not about the other thing that happens in our industry. I think that we look at our expenses and we go, oh, if I could only cut my expenses, I'd make a profit. And we cut our own salaries, we cut our marketing. We don't want to pay for that class. We don't have time or the money to go to the class. And yet if we went, we would make, 2, 3, 4, 5 times what we're currently making. And I think we see it as an investment in ourselves and in our businesses. I think we see it as a cost.
Why do shop owners not get that part? That's the part I really don't understand. And do we see so much come on and BS advertising today and non-trustworthy ads that as low as, or is it that they don't think of it as an investment? They think of it as a cost.
Well, they absolutely think of it as a cost. And I think there's another thing that plays here. And I think that many shop owners kind of feel like they're second-class citizens in a way. I didn't get a university degree. I was just a tech at a shop when I opened my business, and therefore I don't deserve the kind of success that a lawyer or a doctor or a dentist does. And that's what really frustrates me, because I have a couple of college degrees. I didn't learn what I've learned and what I make my living on in college.
Right.
I learned it by the School of Hard Knocks. I learned it by being a tech, by being a shop owner, by taking the hits and going to training. I can tell you, for me, the value of the training that I have gotten over the years. I mean, 30 years ago, I was sitting in Bob O'Connor's classes and Jim Hunt's classes and Bob Cooper's classes and just going to anything I could. I cannot tell you financially the value, because it literally is, it's so high that I can't put a number to it. I can't say it's $1 million. It's probably $3 or $4 million that the training did for me. But I'll tell you what was more important. It gave me confidence. I know how to do it. I'm comfortable in my skin. I don't mind, taking off at 3:00 and going to one of my grandkids' music recitals or games or any of that, because I deserve that. And I think a lot of shop owners don't feel that way.
A MasterCard. What I'm hearing an echo. I'm hearing an echo back from maybe your end.
I'm not.
You're not hearing the echo.
No, sir.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So, let me. It's gone. Oh, very good. It's gone. So here's a question. Now it was a comment before I got all echoed out. MasterCard said it was priceless, all the investment that you made and all the training that you did. And I would love to do something for at least the next few minutes. Let's role play. I'm a shop owner and says, nah, Cecil, I need you to ask me some questions, kind of break me, if you will.
So Carm, are you currently getting what you want out of your life?
I'm not sure I'm deserving of it.
Well, okay. I think that's a fair statement, but we're all deserving. I mean, there are shop owners that are very successful. Their businesses make lots of money. They have time for their families, and they didn't get a college education. Their moms didn't treat them well. My mother was abusive. I grew up in a very unstable situation, and thank God at some point I decided that I wanted to be a better me, and I went and found education, and it's helped me be me. What do you want out of life? Do you want to struggle the entire time?
Well, I don't know, but I get up every day, I go home at night, I eat my dinner, I fall asleep, I have some kind of great feeling that I served my customers, but yet I'm struggling to pay my bills, but so are 10 or 8 other guys. I can't believe the vendors let me stretch as far as they do. And you know what? I'm having fun. I'm a little burned out. The wife wants me to change something, but sitting down with a coach and learning, this is hard stuff. I'm not sure I'm ready to get away from the depth of my business and be up top to run it.
So I've raised 4 kids in my life. And when I was young, I worked really hard, and I didn't go to all their basketball games or all their music concerts or any of that stuff. I can tell you, as an older person with grandkids, that the time goes by exceptionally fast. And there's going to be a day you're going to wake up in the mirror and you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to say, who is that guy? Because he's got white hair and his hair is receding, and that's not the picture of the guy that I have in here. The picture of the guy that I have in here is about 38 years old, got a really cool brown afro, the best Tom Selleck mustache in the world, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But when I wake up in the morning today, I think that my life has gone by very, very quickly. And the longer you put it off, the less likely that you're going to have the life that you want with your family and the money that you want to be financially secure. For me, almost everything's about financial security. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be at the mercy of someone else.
Yeah, Cecil, I hear you, but look at I can't afford another expense in the business, and I'm not paying myself what I know I should be earning. I just about have enough money at the end, at the end of the month to pay what I can pay. How can I afford to hire you?
So, Carm, so let's break out of the role play for a second here, because this is kind of an important thing. You said, are there shysters out there? Is there misinformation? Every coaching company will say, if you raise your parts margin by 5%, you could not only pay for us, but you'd have double left over. If you increased your average repair order by $50, would put another $30,000 or $40,000 in your bottom line. If you raise your labor rate $5 an hour, that would more than pay for me, the coaching, the consulting, etc. And you want to know what? They're all correct. It feels like what they're telling me is something that I'm not even comfortable doing, whether they're telling me to do it or not. I think a lot of guys, my dad, you and I, we've had lots of conversations, a lot about my dad. When I left his shop, he lowered his labor rate by $10 an hour because he didn't believe he was worth $70 an hour. He could only fathom charging $60 an hour. And I have guys that, you walk in their shop and you start talking to them, or they come to a group meeting or whatever, and they go, well, yeah, but I'm $118 an hour and I can't raise my labor rate. And having done this a million times, go home and be $128 an hour. Nobody cares. Yeah, that's not true. A very small percentage of your clients are going to care, but they're the clients that you don't want to keep because they won't be profitable.
I see your point about trying to promise something that will help pay the bills. But what I heard you say is that these were all tactics for success.
Oh, they absolutely are. I mean, we have a 12-page booklet, ebook that we put out with a 20-minute video that you can get at gear.com. That is 5 ways to increase your bottom line. And I literally lay out $180,000 to $240,000 in additional profit for a typical shop with just really 5 simple, easy things. And even if you did one, not only could you pay for that class, that smart group, that consulting, but you'd have more money left over at the end of the day. The problem is that we get trapped in our own world, and we think that this is all there is. And if you're there, I wish I had the magic to, where's the magic pry bar, or the dynamite to knock you out of that place? Because I know what happens for shop owners that get education and that make minor adjustments to their business. Their lives open up. They're not worried about, I got to spend, our buddies that we were talking about, the Sario brothers, I said, you got to have some marketing. You got to have a website. And they're like, oh my gosh, Cecil, you're asking me to spend $1,000 a month. And $1,000 a month for people that are just starting out, that's a substantial amount of money. But if you're a business that people don't know you're there, you got to spend money to do it. And so we raised their labor rate. We invested some money in marketing, and they doubled their business in the course of 3 or 4 months. And their business will double again in the next 6 months.
They told us that story. Now, doubling from 1 work order a day to 3.5 is incredible.
Yeah.
One of the things that went through my mind was the non-automotive people that have come into our industry because they found it attractive and interesting. They were entrepreneurial. They all hired coaches.
Strangely enough, those people are more likely to hire a coach right from the beginning because they know what they don't know. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he said, so I don't know what I don't know. And, that's kind of a magic phrase. When you figure that out and you say, well, maybe that guy knows, or maybe that group of people knows, and you start working towards it, then you start changing your life for the better.
Yeah, you want to move up to, what is it, unconscious competence.
Yeah. And you want to have a place in your business where your business doesn't run your life. Business is there to help your life be better. It's not your life. Too many shop owners, especially guys that have been taxed, and I know I are one, right?
No, wait a minute. You was one.
I was one. Okay, that's better. I'm not a tech today. That's true. That wouldn't be fair to say. But too many guys that came from there believe that the business is their life, and it isn't. It's your wife, your kids, your home, your grandkids, your hobbies, your time off, the associations that people have in our groups are invaluable to them. I think they do it more for the associations with other good shop owners than they do for, the money or anything else. And it's amazing to have 20 people that you can call up if you've got a question or a problem. Or, we have an app that our people are on, or you can go into the app and talk to 120 good shop owners.
One of the things that I heard from Jonathan and Fernando this morning, and everyone will hear that episode probably within a few weeks, is they said we were in the smart group, and there's all these shop owners around us, and they put their numbers up. And he goes, they put their numbers up.
Yeah.
And here's these 29 and 30-year-old brothers that are just fresh in the business. They were just born into it. They just weren't born into it. But one of them was a BMW Master Tech out on their own. It was like, listen, you take the baby, you throw him or her in the deep end of the pool and watch them swim.
I think ego gets in our way a lot in our lives. And, it's very difficult when your shop is not, where it ought to be to compare yourself with other really great shops. But it's also exceptionally educating, and it creates freedom. Hey, wait a minute. How did you do that? Let me know, because now I want to go back to my shop and do that. And I think that's, to me, I was talking with, who was I talking with? Bill Haas and the guys from camp the other day. And we were talking about, what happens when your shop starts to perform and how it kind of creates a different life for you. It's just an easier life.
Something that you said, I wrote down the word, the paradigm of being a shop owner, and I hate it's an overused word, but we get stuck into the fact that I turn wrenches. Now I work my counter, and now I'm in the office, and I don't have any guidance. I don't have any help. I'm not taking training. I'm not networking. I'm, if you will, in this bubble. I don't know what I don't know. And, we've always heard that part of the reason is that there's a secret sauce they don't want to share with anyone. And the secret sauce is I can't pay my bills. I'm not paying myself enough. I'm not sure I'm going to make payroll next week. I can't pay my vendors. And that's the struggle of so many people in business today. But I'm going to tell you something. I think all the coaches and I think all the training, I think it's moving and pushing our industry to new heights we've never seen before.
What's amazing, we have shops now that are over $200 an hour. We have technicians making $110,000, $120,000. We have owners, taking $150,000 a year and making another $250,000, $300,000 out of their business. And that's what business is for. It's supposed to make you a life. And if your ego's in the way, get it out of the way. Okay. If you're afraid that people look at you and go, well, wow, he's struggling, and that's, I'm better than him, dude. I was struggling many times in my career. I've struggled a lot financially, to make payroll, to make sure the bills were paid, and I'm not ashamed to say that. It's something that motivated me to go out and find what I needed to help myself be successful, to make myself a better, I don't know, a better coach, a better shop owner, a better boss, a better husband, a better father. Yeah.
What a great summary. I mean, truly, I think we could put a beautiful bow on this, about a half-hour session here on the camp Facebook page, and we'll probably put this up on the camp website. Anyone can go to it and look at even training that's being posted. And I know that on the Facebook page, all the coaches are publishing the articles that they write and the seminars that they're giving. And this is a true first ever resource for shop owners to go to and to either discover or follow or learn from the professional coaches community. Automotiveprofessionals.org is the website. And of course, Cecil was a founder of CAMP. And we thank you for the insights. There's no doubt that many in the audience have heard this story, have heard this plea, have heard this level of education over and over again. But look in the mirror and do something about it, like you said.
Don't wait. Don't wait. Put your pride aside. Don't worry about how you're going to pay for it, because you're going to pay for it. I don't care. There are varying levels of consultants. All of us would say that there's some better than others, and some are teaching some things that we don't necessarily agree with. But all education, I can learn something valuable from and move myself, my business, my staff forward. So, and a camp is a great place to go look at some of the coaches and consultants, or a large portion of them, and say, wow, I really like that guy, or maybe I like that gal, or, I think it's a great, it's really going to be a really fabulous resource for shop owners. And I hope that they take advantage of it and don't wait to get involved in a group or education or get a coach. Just get it done and change your life.
Hey, man, thanks for being here. Appreciate your insights.
Thank you, sir.